I didn't even think I will be in NBA. My goal, it was playing a EuroLeague because that was kind of the closest.
Nikola Jokic, born February 19th, 1995. When it comes to the NBA and its drafting system, they've usually gotten it right with the players taken in the first round versus the second. But every so often, a player slips through the cracks and falls in the draft for whatever reason. Manu Ginobili, drafted 57th overall in 1999, went on to become the best sixth man in history, win 4 titles and a Hall of Fame career. Gilbert Arenas, 31st overall in 2001, multiple-time All-Star, All-NBA performer, and one of the best scorers of his era. Draymond Green, Dennis Rodman, Chris Middleton, and more. But none greater than the Serbian-born Nikola Jokic as an individual player. For many, the player Jokic has become came as a huge surprise. Many didn't even know he was drafted, seeing as he went 41st overall in 2014, but spent another year overseas before he joined the Denver Nuggets as a slow-footed, unathletic, jello muscular structure 5-man who appeared to lack the strength and post-game to even compete in the league, much less become what he has in his 8th NBA season. As far as weaknesses, that was scouts and most GM's assessment of Nikola prior to the 2014 draft, but as history played out, Jokic may go down as one of the best players in NBA history. Should he lead the Denver Nuggets to an NBA championship and all the chips fall into place like it has for Giannis, there's no question an argument can be made. He's improved his game and production overall each year in the league, 5 times being named an All-Star, 3 All-NBA first teams, and joins a short list of players that have at least 2 MVP awards to their name. Only 8 players in history have won 3 or more times, and only 3 have done it in consecutive seasons. Jokic is working hard on his 3rd, averaging a triple-double at this point, a feat last seen by Russell Westbrook, but before him, it hasn't been seen since 1962, 61 years ago by Oscar Robertson. Both guards and both physical and athletic specimens. Jokic, really? The same slow-footed 6'11" sack of puds drafted while the NBA went to commercial break? The same guy, 6th overall in rebounds, top 20 in points a game, 2nd in assists, and as of right now, has his team in 1st place in the Western Conference. Very strange indeed to see this become the career this 41st overall pick has had, and at 28 years old, just entering his prime, imagining the all-time great career he could end up having, makes Nikola Jokic the biggest growth spurt in NBA history in my opinion. How did he become this player? Let's talk about it. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth. Let's get it, man. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. Nikola Jokic is a 6'11" center, although calling him a point center at this point isn't far-fetched. From Serbia, the 3rd of 3 boys who was more of a horse racer as a child before trying his hand at basketball. He elevated his play quickly and benefited from his unassuming demeanor and appearance, sneaking up on older, more athletic players to by the end of the game, getting the best of them. He performed well in 2012, earning a spot with Mega Vizura, one of Serbia's premier ball clubs at the age of 17. By the end of 2014, Jokic was receiving interest from NBA scouts for his unique all-around skill set, seen but not believed in since then. In June 2014, the Nuggets decided to take a 2nd-round chance on him, even though he wouldn't be available for another season, finishing out his contract in the Serbian league. His first year, 2015-16, he played the background to Denver's prize 6th overall pick, Emmanuel Mudiay, but still playing well enough to earn all-rookie first team by season's end. The next year, the surprise was no more. Jokic showed exactly what he could become, and still not many paid attention. Spurt number 1, the great unknown. One of the biggest reasons I think Jokic has been able to have the success he's had in the NBA is because of his unassuming way about himself, period, but specifically as a player. Even after 7 seasons, working on his 8th as we speak, players just don't always know what they're up against because he's so untraditional. Add to that, he's crafty, very savvy, loves taking advantage of his high IQ, gathered from growing up in the European style of thinkers, as opposed to in America, where young kids are more showers with their athleticism, deep shooting, and highlight ball handling in search for their next ooh and ah. Add to that, when you look at him, he never seems to pose a threat as he lumbers slowly up the floor, usually looking out of breath, shoulders and arms in a slumber, but then at the very last second, drops a highlight dime, floater, or even a slow winding 3 that too looks like no way this guy is going to shoot this. Players have played against him this long, and I still think they underestimate his capabilities until it's too late and he has you at a disadvantage, shooting one of his equally unassuming shots that you would expect a guard to put up. It took his first 2 seasons, but by year 3, Nikola Jokic was clearly Denver's franchise player and a pillar they should build around in the near future. He averaged over 18 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists in his 3rd year, only 22 years old, as Denver improved for the 3rd straight season. By year 4, he became an NBA All-Star, improving once again. Some players defy the law of traditional physics with their athleticism, and these players are the ones usually celebrated all over the world, as they should be. But in rare occasions, you find a talent like Jokic that defeats tradition using everything opposite of what defenders are used to. When Ginobili introduced the NBA to the Eurostep, it was the unlocking of an unstoppable move that still arguably today is the #1 offensive move used close to the basket. A slow-footed, non-traditionally athletic guy made that move famous. You see Jokic and his poker-faced demeanor and you never know what he'll do next. It's how he gets them every time. Growth Spurt number 2, Mike Malone and the Nuggets. I will say that I think Nikola Jokic being drafted to a team like Denver and a coach like Mike Malone couldn't have been more suited for what he needed to become a star. On most NBA teams, Jokic may have been buried in a system that played against his strengths, like a team that wanted to play fast-paced like the Warriors, or Grizzlies, or young and athletic like the Rockets, point guard dominant like the Hawks or OKC, to where needing a guy like Nikola would be a severe afterthought. Drafted in the 2nd round, he would have had no choice if taken by a LeBron-led team or some other superstar in their prime and already established. Nikola benefited from joining the perfect Denver team that was rebuilding after missing the postseason 2 straight seasons before Jokic got there, on their way to 5 straight playoff misses, including Nikola's first 3 seasons. Mike Malone, who was fired by the Sacramento Kings 2014-15 for starting the season 11-13, was hired just before Jokic's arrival in America in his rookie season, and the two have built a bond over using high IQ and toughness to defeat teams, along with adding players that fit that mold perfectly, like a Jamal Murray, and role players that are used to having to work for their spot in the league. Mike Malone also runs an offense usually among the slowest tempo in the league, which greatly benefits their slow-footed big, allowing him time to set his mind plays ahead of the opposing team. Malone learned to coach a big like DeMarcus Cousins, who has been vocal in his love for playing for Mike Malone, leading to the coach luckily being paired with Jokic years later, creating something special in Denver. It's not the be-all, end-all, but having a coach and system that benefits you is a blessing that doesn't come around often for 2nd-round picks. Growth Spurt number 3, work ethic and ability to improve. Lastly and most importantly is, as a young player, you must think of the game like something you're constantly trying to master and improve at in some areas. Even the greatest players have had a weakness or two, so you individually have to set your sight on mastering as many aspects of the game as possible in order to have a growth spurt like Nikola Jokic. You can tell he's dedicated to getting better as a player, seeing as his body type is one that can easily slip to overweight levels, yet he always manages to be right at perfect playing weight for his body, and over his career has played at least 70 games every season. For your franchise big man, there's not too much more you can ask for. Like mentioned, he's gotten better every year basically in more than just points per game. He's shooting 39% from 3 this season from a low of 30% his first All-Star year, and is still working to improve in that area and more. He's decided to average less points as well in favor of sharing the ball more, pushing his assist averages to plus 10 a game, making him, if this continues, the only big in history to average a triple-double. All in all, Nikola Jokic is putting on a show never seen before. He's had all the right chips fall in the right places for his success and is taking advantage of it, continuing to work hard on his game, leading to him on the verge of winning a 3rd straight MVP in a triple-double averaging season. He may not win a slam dunk contest anytime soon, but as far as overachievers, he's been the best the league has seen so far. Salute, much respect. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth, and I'm out.